depends on where it's supposed to be. You drive the feedback mechanism here.
It's like a timing.
Yep.
Gotcha. Big boy.
So sometimes it's nice. Back up.
Just like her.
You have the valve in there to get the signal here. Let's see if the tabs on this side.
Take a picture next to it. Just stay over there. I don't think they shoot you.
What? That's funny.
The number one thing that both the engineer and the fireman are concerned about is the level of water in the boiler.
Yep.
So they're watching that water level, and a half glass is good, and try to keep it at that. And then they're also concerned, number two thing is the steam pressure. You want to keep as close to 300 psi, which is where this one pops off at all the time, because that's what pulls the train. So the fireman's sitting over there, you know, he's watching the engineer, he knows the territory, so he knows where the grades are. He knows where he's going to be working the engine, where the engineer's going to be working the engine hard and where he's going to be drifting. So he knows the territory, and also he's watching the engineer, how he's using the reverser and the throttle. The throttle admits the steam to the cylinders. The reverser just determines whether you go forward, push the handle forward, pull the handle back, and you're going to back up. The engineer is also controlling the valve gear. He's controlling, admitting the steam to the cylinders with the valve gear, the Johnson bar. So if the fireman's over there and he sees the throttle back and the Johnson bar forward and we're going up a hill, he's going to work to add more coal, and he's going to keep the water pump going too, keep water in the boiler. If he sees the engineer back off on the throttle or ease back on the center up on the Johnson bar, then he's going to ease off on the throttle. Okay, so the two work together. The other thing the engineer does when the train's moving, the fireman's running water through the boiler feed pump and the feed water heater. He uses the exhaust steam of the engine to preheat the boiler water. When you're standing like this, there's no exhaust steam, so the engineer adds the water here with an injector. If you were here a few minutes ago, you saw Mr. Alexander add water with the injector. And that was sort of that hissing and then rumbling sound you heard. So again, keeping the pressure, you're managing your steam pressure and you're managing your water level all the time. The other thing the engineer does, and there's an old adage that says that fireman earns his pay going uphill, the engineer earns his pay going downhill, because the engineer is operating the brakes. This is the automatic brake. I just moved from release to service position. And the engineer is going to use air pressure gauges to determine how much braking effort he's getting back through the train. And locomotive wheels and brake shoes and all being what they are, you don't really want to apply brakes to the locomotive. You want the train to do your braking for you. So you do what's called bail off. Press down on the independent brake handle, that releases the brakes on the engine. The train's still back there braking. Now if we're just a light engine and you want to stop, this is applied, this is released on just the engine brakes. So you'd use that when switching. So, who wants to blow the whistle? You ready to blow? You want to blow it from the fireman's seat, or you want to sit over here?
You'll be looking forward, it will get underway.
Yep.
You're not going very far today, I will tell you that.
Okay, is it okay to blow the whistle now, or is he... Hold off just a minute. Okay, you ready? All right.
All aboard!
All right. Good job.
So the crew guys probably had hearing loss after being on the job a couple of years.
What?
That fun?
I've been on this job
All
for
right,
2 days.
good.
Yeah, like I say, you do anything on the side, you do it.